Hey everybody, it's Sheldon Teal again. Today I want to share with you something that I read in a book recently. Some of you may have read this book. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. This book was written many years ago, but the principles of this book, I think they still hold valid. Give you a little bit of background first about me. I turned 30 years old this year. That's awesome. I'm not afraid of 30. I'm feeling great about it. I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in. But for the past 30 years, I thought that the purpose of life was to try and make things easier and easier and easier. To try and just stop doing work. What a stupid idea. I've wasted 30 years of my life because I just realized, thanks to this book, read it if you haven't. Go get it right now, read it, you'll like it. That work is the miracle. The miracle isn't just sitting on a beach, drinking out of a glass with a little tiny umbrella. Sure, that's great for vacations and stuff like that, but for all your life? No, that's a really bad thing to do. Part of the book tells the story of two slaves. This man gets sold into slavery because he couldn't pay his debts. Kind of a scary place to be in. First man he meets in the group that's getting sold off to slavery was this man that says, look, son, if you want to survive, you have to work harder than any other slave out there. You have to be willing to bust your back and to work hard. So he shows up on the block to get sold as a slave. He's, pretty healthy guy. He's got good teeth. He's literate. He gets sold off. Meanwhile, one of the other guys, he said, you know what? Watch this. I'm just going to try and relax my way through it. I'm just going to try and be easy through it. Well, further down the road, he sees the guy, and because he was trying to be lazy, the guards whipped him and whipped him and whipped him and beat him, and eventually he dies. Meanwhile, this other slave that's willing to work hard, again, he's a slave. Who wants to be a slave? I don't want to be a slave. You don't want to be a slave. Slavery would suck. He worked harder than any other slave out there. And the slave masters, they saw that there was this guy who was in unfavorable positions, who was willing to work hard, was willing to work harder than anyone else despite the job being bad. They saw that, how hard he was willing to work, and slowly he was able to get put onto different jobs that he was able to excel at. And eventually he got to the point where he was helping his owner, his master, making important decisions. He was able to eventually make enough money as a slave to buy his freedom, and him and his master went into business together and they became filthy, stinking rich. That didn't happen by being lazy, that happened by him working hard. So I spent the last 30 years of my life trying to avoid work. Embarrassingly enough, we're trying to find the easy way out. I'm going to spend the next 30 years of my life focusing on work being the miracle. So work hard and see what comes out of it. Be willing to really just work hard. No being weak, none of that stuff. Alright, this video was a bit longer. Thanks for listening. This was Sheldon Teal.